I'm excited. I'm always excited because it's another day and opportunity to share, to inspire, and to thank the Lord for another day. This is December 27th, 2017. We are approaching the close of another year. It's amazing how time flies and just seeing all the changes that we have in our society, technology, and business opportunities, and different social things that are happening in our cultures. It's definitely something to watch. Um, but I wanted to do this. I wanted to get a chance to go ahead and do a live stream to where I can do a podcast and then do it live. So I just have to hook up some things here. Let's see. My pop-up blocker was causing stuff not to show, but I think it should be good now. Cool. I'm trying out this service that I used before. It's showing that I'm offline. There we go. We're online now. All right. So I think we are going live on Facebook and YouTube. Just not sure. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's showing that we're online. Showing that we're online for the Texas Tenor Music Academy channel. And Facebook, it is showing that it is not connected. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, I guess I could share the video later on Facebook. But thank y'all for chiming in. I'm so thankful for you, um, keeping in touch with me. We're checking out the channel. I'm not going to waste time and try to set up this Facebook live portion now. But for you all that are on YouTube checking out the stream, welcome, welcome, welcome. And so what I'm gonna do is 2017 at the end here, and I got some new updates that I want to share with you. And let's see if I can pull up this thing here to see if I can see some of the chats that come in. If you have any chats, give me a shout. Give me a shout. Um, Send me a message. I'll see if I can say what's up. If not, we just have to catch you on the next one. I'm trying to get this software down. Uh, let's see. I'll go to my page here and see if I can say what's up to some of you all who are hanging out in here. I'm gonna go to YouTube. There we go. Go to YouTube. I think I gotta log in to the right place. But got some nice stuff that I'm working on. Trying to get together my flow on Texas Tenor Music Academy, which is the place where I share videos, teaching videos, master classes, and performances from myself, where I get a chance to give you some insights on jazz improvisation and just show you how I'm using technology to connect with you and to inspire you to continue to practice and make yourself a better musician, being well-rounded and stuff. There we go. I see my face now. I'm live. It's connected, so it's working good. All right. So let's see. I'm gonna just go over here and see if I can actually see who is checking it out live. But Texas Tenor Music Academy has been growing. I appreciate the members and the people who have taken advantage of it. Um, and then, of course, I'm going to be adding new stuff to it. I've been trying to work on getting some help, people to help me manage the website. I was out of town in Houston for about a month, had some family stuff to take care of there, and it was hard because the internet connection at the hotel was kind of slow, so I couldn't upload the videos like I wanted to. But I did get an opportunity to go to some practice rooms there on the campus, TSU, and also Rice, and I was able to share stream live while I practiced in their practice room. So that was cool. Some of those videos you can see on my Facebook page. So if you are connected with me on my Facebook page, you can go there. I have a page for Jazz Webshed, and also have a page for Texas Tenor Music, and also my personal page. It's a lot of pages to manage, but you can, if you go to my main page, find me on there, Quamon Fowler. You can connect with me there, and most of the time it's easier to go live on my main page. But sometimes, of course, I'll put the shared sessions directly on Jazz Webshed, and for those who are members of the Texas Tenor Music Academy, you can get access to those live streams um, when you become a member. I got all of them, out on in a private group, so you can go there and get an opportunity to check out some of that stuff. hmm Um, so I'm just trying to see if I can. Nah, I'm not gonna mess with it because I'm gonna have to figure out the Facebook thing, because Facebook gives me a lot of attention there. But anyway, I won't worry about that. But I'm focused on you guys this time on YouTube, and I might have to edit the video down. You know what I could always do? I could just straight up go live Facebook here, from my browser. I was trying to do it through this app called Restream, but I guess I could just go straight up from my computer, and hopefully nothing won't crash. Um, okay. All right. So let's see if I can do that. And then if I'm able to do that, I'll go ahead and get started with the updates to share with you all. But thank y'all for being a part of my channel, and following what I'm doing. I got some great stuff coming out this year. I've been working on. I got a new single, and also definitely gonna work on some new music and some new video content and things like that to put out. All right, so I'm on Facebook, and I'm gonna just call this updates going into 2018. All right, exclamation point. All right, so some of the interaction you might see me interact with the people on Facebook, and if you're wanting to talk with me, you can come over here to the Facebook page. I'll see it there because I have it going to my Texas Tenor Music page, Jazz Webshed page, um, the Texas Music Academy page, the Jazz. I'm getting them confused because if you go to YouTube, you would have to find the Texas Tenor Music Academy page on by going to the youtube.com/jazz webshed address, and that'll connect you into the Texas Tenor Music Academy. That's what it was first before I changed it to Texas Tenor Music Academy. Okay. Also, let's see here. So you can join me. Also, if you are on Instagram, you can find me. It's Quamon Fowler underscore. No, it's Quamon underscore Fowler on Instagram if you want to connect with me there. So now I got this all connected. I know y'all like I'm high tech. I'm always into stuff, but yeah. So I got this program Restream going, and I'm streaming from Restream to go to YouTube, and I'm going right through my browser here to go on Facebook. So Facebook people, y'all have this camera, and for the YouTube people, y'all have this camera. So I'll be kind of going back and forth. So it's like I'm talking to a room. But yeah, so I'm excited. Let me pull up my notes here. It is 2017. We're about to come to a close. Let me get it all together. Dang, I hope this thing don't crash on me. I'm going to start recording actually in my Logic because I'm going to record the podcast, the audio version, so that I can share it on my in iTunes uh, podcast section and on SoundCloud and stuff like that. So I'm trying to set that up. Multitasking, yeah, you got to do all of this stuff these days. Just because I like it. It's fun, but I need some help, and I got to train up some other people to help me with some of this stuff. And but it's one of those things you do the as technology continues to present new opportunities to for business, and you have to reinvent yourself. And I talk about well, I've talked about that before, just about submitting to the process, and a lot of the thing that happens when you're a technician in one area, over time, you grow, you expand, and sometimes you might have a reputation, or you have a reputation in this one particular area, but really you can learn how to transition from being just a technician in one area to being a manager. And basically, people who trust your brand or who follow and appreciate what you do, they like your style, then you can start more moving to that position of being a visionary or a CEO, where you develop a company. It's like graduating from being self-employed to a business owner, and so um, a lot of books and audio books and stuff that I've read just to help me with managing all this stuff, because I've always been in technology and I've always recorded everything. Everybody who went to school with me from high school to college, they know that I was always recording. And so it's just quite natural for me to record, along with putting out, um, you know, uh, putting out CDs, playing gigs and stuff like that, and sharing my insights as a teacher. So it's kind of always been my thing. And so I'm trying to use these outlets to continue to do what I do. And it'll get better and better, especially rolling into this new year. That's part of my New Year's resolutions. The key word for me is consistency. However I got to do it, y'all will see the bad, developing into better, and eventually I'll get good with all of this stuff. But ain't no shame in my game. I just like to share and show people the process that you go through just pursuing a lot of these things here. So yeah, I can see you right here if you're on Facebook and you're tuned in. Thank you so much for coming. Hope y'all had a great Christmas. It's gotten cold. What up, Reg? How you doing? It's gotten cold outside. There's Sister Shalia. She's the singer that sang on my album. Actually, yeah, my albums. She sang on Forever, and she also is featured on this new single. So I'm gonna talk about that single. What's up, Andre, my man? I'm glad that you came in here, because part of my notes that I didn't have in the notes is a performance that we got coming up. But let me do this. I'm gonna get started recording so I can get the podcast going. But y'all are definitely giving me more ideas and stuff that I need to talk about. So let's see. Hopefully my computer won't crash. All right, good. I'm rolling. I'm recording. So here we go. Now I'm gonna start like this. This is episode number 17. Updates rolling into 2018. What's going on? This is Quamon Fowler, the Texas tenor, coming to you with another podcast. I know it's been a while. I've been busy and doing a bunch of stuff. When you're a professor and you're a performer and you're a teacher, you're doing lessons, rehearsing, recording. It's a lot to manage. But, I try to make it a point to be consistent when I can with these podcasts because I'm listening to podcasts myself. And so it always encourages me when I get that ping from the different podcasts that I listen to, letting me know, hey, it's a new episode out. And so that inspires me to go ahead and get ready to record a podcast myself. So this time I got a couple components going on. If you're watching me live, you see me in my studio live. But if you're listening to the audio, you just listen to the audio. But I actually am going live on Facebook and YouTube. And if you want to connect with me on either of these channels, basically you have Facebook, which is you can find me on, just search for my name, and I'm there. And I have a couple of pages. One for my professional page, which is Texas Tenor Music. You can find that, Texas Tenor Music, and follow what I have going on musically and gigs and performances and things like that. Also I'm going live on YouTube, and I have two YouTube channels. One is the Texas Tenor. Basically, it's youtube.com/Texas Tenor, TEXAS10ER. And the place where I add the stuff that's catered to musicians more so, like lessons and stuff like that. That is the Texas Tenor Music Academy channel, which you can get there by going to Jazz Webshed. So it's youtube.com/Jazz Webshed. I couldn't change the name to Texas Tenor Music Academy in the address, but you can find me there. Once you subscribe, you'll get the notifications. You'll get updated when I'm going live and stuff. But I am excited, and I appreciate you all for giving me a little bit of your time. I just wanted to share with you some of the things that's coming up, rolling into this new year. First of all, we got some new music that's coming out, and I recorded some stuff this year earlier on, and actually there's a performance going on tonight at the House of Blues at the Foundation Room with Chuck Smith, Jerome Allen, Joseph Vancelli. They did an album called Axe 14, AXE 14, and they have a lot of phenomenal bass players on it. And I don't have, let's see, I'm trying to pull up some of the information. I know I'm supposed to be prepared. I'm supposed to have all that pulled up, but let's see if I can find it here. So, so it's going on tonight. My man Keith Hill, who has been a great promoter for us here in the DFW area with jazz. He actually started the website Uptown Jazz Dallas. So they have a gig tonight. It's going to start at 8 to 11 or so, and 7 p.m. Is when it starts, and it's actually tonight. And so you're going to be able to check out. This is the CD release party for Axe 14. So it's Axe, AXE, and so it features like 14 different bass players. From You got cats from around the DFW area and other cats from around the country. And it's a great album. It sounds good. It really sounds great. I had the pleasure of putting some horns on there, so I did some arrangements for with the saxophone playing on some of those songs. So it's a lot of players on there. I believe Mike League from Snarky Puppy is on there. Chuck Smith, of course, on bass. Jerome Allen's on bass. You have Wes Stevenson on bass, and you have I know who else? Phil Lassiter is doing some trumpet stuff on there. We have Braylon Lacey, another bass player that's on there, and more. So I think you can go to iTunes now and find that. And Brothers United is their page if you want to go on Facebook. It's an inspirational bass collaboration. That's what it's called. It's Brothers United. So if you let's see, in Facebook, I believe if you go look for Acts. Oh yeah, the website, not the website, but on the Facebook, it's yeah, it's Bass Brothers United. Bass Brothers United, and you can go to that page and you can find out more information about that. And it's got all the cats who played on it: Alvin Shaw, Alan Snoop, Evans, Braylon, like I said, Terrence Palmer, Joseph Tolliver, Nigel Rivers, yeah, Steve Lewis, you know. So yeah, check out that. It's a really nice project. Um, and y'all will enjoy it. I believe you can get a single or something. You can get something on iTunes, but not the whole album, right? Okay. So that's one of the things that I played on, but it's another one. It's another bass player. I don't know what it is about bass players. I bought a bass this year. I started practicing, but I didn't follow through with it. But I just need to get more on it. Maybe that need to be my New Year's resolution, to practice bass. Okay, so we got another bass player, DeMarcus Walker, who is from Tyler, I believe, but he is in the DFW area. He went to UNT, and he's a bad boy. And so he recorded an album, and it's called Salt and Light. So y'all need to go or be on the lookout for Salt and Light. I think he sent me a message. I messaged him right here, and he was saying he was still uploading all of the stuff to CD Baby. So that's going to be out pretty soon. Salt and Light. And I played on a track, I believe, I played saxophone, and Mark Lettieri, Bobby Sparks, Sput, Robert C. Wright, and some other cats. I think DeMarcus also played tuba on it. So he plays tuba, and he also plays the bass. So, but that one track was killing. It was nice. It was fun, man. Everybody is doing the remote thing, and I'm doing it too, of course. And it's like it's getting a lot easier and clearer in terms of how to do it. For instance, what Marcus did was he sent me the track, and he had instructions in it. So he said, okay, Quamon, like the music is playing. It's like, okay, you're going to come in right here. And so he can 1, 2, 3, right here. Here's the melody. And so it was something, he had like a keyboard, playing the melody. And so I played the melody, and then he said, okay, get ready to solo. You're going to solo after the guitar. The guitar wasn't there yet, but he's like, the guitar solo is finished 1, 2, right now. So you solo right here. And so I started, putting the stuff in the spots, and of course it's one of those tunes where it's called Feed the Meter. So you got different subdivisions of the rhythm going on. So Spud, of course, he laid his stuff on top of that. But I thought it was very clever how he orchestrated everything, because he sent everybody instructional MP3s, an MP3 without the instruction, and also an MP3 with the instructions, telling the person everywhere, whoever he gave the track to, where they're recording or what they needed to do, put in the right spots. He had it outlined in the track. So that was very cool. And so come to find out, he did his whole project like that. So the whole project is like that. Nobody was in one location at one time. So, but that one song is killing. And yeah, so be on the lookout for that. Salt and Light, DeMarcus Walker Jr. Yeah, I think. Yeah, junior. He's a junior. So also, I did upload new music into my Texas Tenor Radio. So if some of you all don't know, you can go to my website and I got radio on there under the tab, I think music. Um, let's see. Or you can go to my app. You can get my app. I do have an app if you just search my name in the Google Play Store or App Store for Apple device users. You can definitely find my app, and inside the app, I do have my radio station. So on my website, if you go to music and you click on radio for the sub tab that pops up, you can listen to all of the stuff that I've played on. Uh, I got stuff from my records, my records that I've released. Also, I have stuff from other artists' records that I've played on, and some that I didn't. I was able to get some friends' music in there that I've asked if it's cool to put in there. So you can definitely go. I played on Arlington Jones CDs. I played on James Gilliard, bass player. Arlington Jones plays piano. Bass player James Gilliard from the Dallas area. I'm on his CDs. I have I played on Sean Martin's Seven Summers on the first tune, the party tune. Daryl Reeves, alto player who's in Atlanta now. I mean, we did one years back. This was probably like 17 years ago or so, something like that. But I think Robert Glasper is on it. I'm playing on it. Russell Gunn. But it's called Diary of a Bandstand. That's some of the stuff that I played on is on there. Um, and what else? What else here? Roland Guerin is a bass player who we used to play together all the time when I was going to school in Louisiana at Southern University. So I played on a couple of Roland's albums, and so you can hear that music. Here recently, Sergio Pamies, he is from Colombia, and I recorded two songs on his new project. Um, what Brought You Here? I'm on What Brought You Here, the remix. I played Iwi on it, and then I also did tenor on what's that song? Our Man Andrew. He wrote it from a drummer, Andrew Griffith, great drummer. So I'm on that one with the hits and stuff. Man, it's something else. It was something just trying to get those hits down in that tune. But we got it. We made it through it. But it was a fun experience. We was at where was we at? Luminous, I believe, in Dallas. That was the first time I went there, but it's a nice studio. Um, so yeah, that's out there. That's available. You can check that in my app. Listen to music there. Let's see here. What else do I have on the list? Texas Tenor Radio. I talked about that. So the next thing is my single. So you might have been seeing on my Facebook or my YouTube, not YouTube, Facebook. That's I guess Facebook and Twitter. You might have seen that I have been posting every day the countdown to the release of The Time Is Now. That's right. The Time Is Now is a great single. Excuse me. Excuse me. So I'm gonna have to edit that out. Excuse me. Well, I just finished eating with my wife. So anyway, but The Time Is Now is a great message. I'm actually singing on it. I'm using the vocoder, the Iwi and vocoder, but I'm also singing without any with nothing. I think I think Carl did put a little bit of pitch correction on me, but I nail all the pitches, no problem. Nah, it's really hard singing because it's one thing to hit the pitches, but you got to sound right. It's got to be the right tone. So I definitely had to do it a few times to get it right. The melody is very catchy. So most people who have heard it, they say that they really like that melody. And so I'm singing the melody, and I'm also accompanied on vocals by the lovely Shalia Songbird James from from Georgia, and so she's doing the backgrounds. Also on keys, we have um, originally I sent it out to Bernard Wright to lay down keys on it. He's a legend, and just does beautiful work. Just his ideas and imagination, um, over fusion and playing. It's just beautiful. It's tight. He's always been an inspiration, for me with my Iwi playing. So Bernard is actually doing auxiliary keys and strings on there. Alan Johnson is doing Whirly. He's doing the Wurlitzer. He laid that down in D.C. We played a lot together in the past, of course, when I was going traveling up there a lot, and of course he has used me to play on his CDs and tracks and stuff like that. So we've always collaborated and used each other on our projects and stuff. So he's playing on it, and then I'm so excited for being able to do this song with the phenomenal bass player that I met or actually met online through YouTube, and his name is Derek Bennett. And like a couple years ago, I remember seeing these little short 5-10 second clips of this dude killing on bass. And so I'm like, man, who is this dude? Because when it's one thing to have chops, but it's another thing to be soulful and have language. That's the thing. I've been talking with some students lately, and they've been saying, you have soul and you have language. A lot of times people will have the soul and they won't have the language, or people will have the language and they won't have the soul. But here's one of these bass players, like he's technically killing. He's got the soul straight from the church, but he also has lines, where he's listened to the cats, jazz cats, to be able to play bebop and more in-depth type of lines. So anyway, I got him on this track, and it's killing. He laid down a solo. I had him play the melody, also solo. He takes the first solo on the song, and he plays the melody with me as I sing, and it's really nice. It's really nice. So y'all should keep that on. Put it on your to-do list or write a reminder. January 1st is gonna be out. You can get it at 12 o'clock in the morning, and make sure you hashtag TTIN. The time is now, and so that's exciting. So on drums, we got a good friend of mine from college, John Jones, who has always helped me out over the years. He's played with me on my CD, The Vision, that I released back in 2003 or 2004, and he's also on a single that I released. I believe it's available some places. I think The Reinforcement. He's playing drums on there, and he did a great job laying drums on this track. So it really inspired me, y'all, doing this track like this, because I'm so used to having everybody in one place and recording. That's how I did The Vision. That's how I did A Soul's Cry. That's how I did with Prevail. And so that's just what I do. And so now I was going to say, I did an album with Chuck Smith, bass player Chuck Smith from Arlington, from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Actually, he released his album, I think, around the same time I released Prevail, and we collaborated and did some CD release parties, and we kind of shared songs. So, but anyway, Chuck had wrote out a lot of his tunes where he had outlined them all in his music software, and then he just went and had um, the cats to replace the drums, to replace the keys, to replace um, the melodies and the guitar that add that their part. So he was really one of the first ones to kind of give me that nudge that to go, you should try it. And so I ended up releasing. I did a track and released Easy Does It, which is a groove. And that's just a track that I did. And I had a friend of mine, PJ, Paul Reagan, who goes to my church from North Carolina. He helped me out with tracking and laying down the production. Then I moved into doing In the Pocket. Like In the Pocket is a groove thing that I laid down everything to. Um, yeah, I think I laid down everything. You can see the video on YouTube where I'm playing tambourine and doing the shaker, and I, I played the bass on the EWI and played the saxophone parts and all of that. So that was another experience. But here's a track. This Time Is Now is one where I kind of did it like how DeMarcus did his. I did it how Chuck did his, where you just chart out or you map out your track. I can do that because I did the beat. I laid down the beat. Laid the melody on EWI vocoder, and then I also played the bass on the EWI. And what I did when I sent it to Derek, I just told him, hey, replace this bass. So I had the bass part in there, and then I just sent him a track without the bass, and I had the melody in there, and I had to spell it out or play the melody clear enough so he could hear it. And he laid down the melody and the bass line, and it turned out good. And so from there, I told my friend John, I was like, man, I need you to lay drums on this. So I sent him the track, and he listened to it, and he sent me 3 different takes, and I picked the one. We all leaned on, like, what, the first take or the third take? I think the third take. We leaned towards the third take, and so I went with that. And then Alan, I just sent it to him. Just said I needed some keys on it, Rhodes or something like that. So he chose Whirly, and it sounded good. So it's pretty easy, in terms of once you receive a track and everything's there, all you gotta do is just play. And I think he might have did it in one take and sent it back to me and let me know. Just said if you have anything, if you need any changes, just let me know. So this is the way to go. Oh, Shalia, she laid down her part in the studio because we were there working on some other stuff. So it was a studio that's not too far from where I live. We went out there. Uh-oh. I got some music playing. I gotta stop. I know y'all probably can't hear it because it's in my headphones. Actually, that's In the Pocket. Oh, I got it going long. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm using like a template um, from an older podcast, and I have it here in Logic, so it played when I got to that point. So that just goes to show I'm going too long. I'm long-winded. But anyway, I was talking about Shalia in the studio. So she laid down her part, and I just had her stack, um, answering me. Um, and so I just cut and paste her throughout on the track. So that's that. And my man Carl Wagner, I can't forget about him. Carl is the guy behind the scenes and sometimes in front of the scene. He plays with me on gigs, but he also is a phenomenal mixer and master. And I know he's very modest, but I've always liked the way his tracks sound. He creates his own tracks and stuff at the house, and sometimes he would let me hear his stuff. I was like, man, that sounds good. And I never took the time really to uh, mix really right the correct way. I mean, I just get like a balance, If it sounds cool, I roll with it. I don't go specifically into adjusting the frequencies, and sometimes I do, but not as much as Carl. But Carl actually made this track really sound good. He's mixed some other tracks of mine in the past. Oh, Forever. He did the album Forever. He mixed and mastered Forever. And so he's getting better and better. So definitely can't forget about him. And like I mentioned before, my man Keith Hill. Keith Hill has been of great help. He's good with the graphic designing, and he has a really keen eye for the aesthetics of how things should look. And I appreciate him because he's also a believer. He's a Christian, and he's been following me and what I've been doing. So he knows what I like, what I'm about. So he fits that into a lot of the graphic design that he's created for me, for singles and even the cover for this one. So The Time Is Now is actually a nice cover. I'm gonna get a T-shirt made. Um, so if y'all are interested, just let me know if that would be something, because I posted the picture on my Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that. But I'm gonna get a T-shirt made. I didn't want to put me on there. He told me, man, you should put you on there. It's you, but I didn't want to be vain. I want the song to speak by itself. If I were to get a T-shirt, I didn't want to have me on it. So, but my name is on it. But it's a great design. He's got like the clock in the background, and so the whole idea of The Time Is Now. There go my man. There go my man, DeMarcus. I was just giving him a shout out. No problem, brother. So, but the whole point, the idea behind The Time Is Now is basically, I say in everything, winter to spring, there's a time and season when we need, well, to be loving and sharing, and see everything. Do you believe that it's a higher purpose and we need to be caring? And so usually around this time of the holiday seasons, from November from Thanksgiving to Christmas, it's just strange because it seems like more people end up having to go to the hospital, or even loved ones, leave us around this time. So it's my grandmother. I remember back in '91 passed away right before Christmas, and my wife's grandmother some years back passed away like around this time, and I know some other people recently, who had some deaths, and we were in the hospital, from November going into December, but we're good. My son actually had surgery, and so but during this time, from working on this song, I just thought about, and even being in there, how you can't get so caught up in yourself and what you want to do, and being selfish and not thinking about others, because it's other people that are going through situations that are a lot heavier than yours. I mean, even when we were in the hospital, I see one of the parents here now checking out the stream. But Aunt, what up, Aunt? But him and his wife were in there. Their daughter had gotten sick, and we were able to meet them, and we talked and encouraged each other, and were praying for each other, and they ended up leaving, being discharged, and their daughter is doing great, and but it's one of those things, you think you got it going on, or you think you got cocky and stuff. Just go to the hospital. There's a time and season where you need to be loving and caring. And with this song, The Time Is Now, it's like, time is a thing. It's just the hook. I say, time is a thing that won't wait for you. So begin soon, my friend. Begin, the time is now. So basically, do what you need to do today, right now. Do right now. Don't put it aside. It's the scripture to talk about when you have the power, when you have the ability to do good or to help someone, don't delay it. I'm paraphrasing, but don't put it off. Like, do it now. And so that's what this season is about: being thankful, sharing, showing love towards others, encouraging folk. I want to give a shout out too for the musicians and cats that helped me out when we were in um, out there in Houston. Give a shout out to Mike Hobdy for showing love and coming to the gig. Also, Will Fortune, who actually hosted me. He took me where I needed to go to check out some of the jam sessions, and introduced me to some cats, and also was very hospitable. He let me use his amp on that gig that I had to do at the Marriott Marquis. Uh, yeah, appreciate also Jay up there that who books for the Marriott Marquis, and he had me come and do my own gig. Once I played with Steve Richard, who is a saxophone player who we went to college with. I went to college at Southern University, and he played. He was in the marching band, but we hooked up and played. He was really big in the Grover Washington Jr. So he lives in Houston. He has his band. I went and sat in with him. It's a popular tune that is on Facebook. I put up of us playing together, so you can check that out if you roam around uh, on my Facebook page. But shout out to Steven. Also, Andre Hayward, who actually came. He's from Houston, but he lives in Austin now. But he came back to do that gig on the 16th where we played together, and I put up a clip of. Actually, I streamed the whole thing. You can check that out if you go to my Facebook page. But I put up a video clip of us doing "Christmas Time Is Here," Vince Guaraldi tune, and so. But thank Andre for connecting me, even with James Murphy, another tenor player, young guy who I was able to help. Mogi, the 15-year-old that I shared us practicing on some stuff. He's phenomenal. Got a lot of stuff together at 15, but he goes to HSPVA. Him, and also on keys. Dang, I went blank. So what is his name? Tyler. Yeah, Tyler Henderson, the piano player, who's 16 that goes to HSPVA. He's phenomenal. It was great to meet them. TR, who hosts the jam session over there at Cafe 4212 on Monday nights. He let me lead one night when Steven couldn't do it. So, I was able to pick up a lot of stuff. Renee, who I was able to, he hooked me up with a gig too. I was able to play with some other guys, trombone player, Cuban cat. I don't have the name on the top of my head. Him and James Williams, trumpet player. We played at a church for a service for Christmas, and that was fun. It was really nice to be able to go somewhere and be able to pick up where left off coming from Fort Worth. At the end of the semester, I was able to even continue my lessons via Skype with my students here. But I was also able to teach some lessons once I got to Houston. So it was a great year. A lot of things brewed and are still brewing and going to be unfolding as we go into the new year. So that's what I wanted to share with you all. Just a lot of the updates and things that I did and things that are coming out for the new year. Yep. All right. So yeah, um, I'm looking on here at some of the comments. I'm just kind of scanning through here. If I'm on Facebook too, so if you wanted to check out the stream over here and give me a shout out, I can say what's up to you. But once again, I hope everybody had a great Christmas. I hope everybody has a great new year. And don't take your life for granted. God has answered so many prayers, man. He's faithful, man. if you don't have a relationship with God, with the Lord, man, you need to get one. You need to forgive who you need to forgive. You need to not have any bitterness. Like a lot of times people blame God for stuff that's their their fault. You know, we got to play in this. A lot of times people think that there's not a God because all of this bad stuff is happening. No, God gives he gave us free will. So people choose to create the calamity. You know, he can't interfere with what we want to do. But if you want a relationship with him, he's a gentleman. And it's in his word, his ways. You learn of him. You get a relationship with God through trusting his word and obeying his word. And I'm just a living testimony, just my family and all the things that I've been able to accomplish and get done is because I, you know, would focus on Jesus, you know, and his example and the disciples, and that encouraged me to practice. That encouraged me to discipline myself, to even you know, to be consistent with putting out inspirational videos or putting out inspirational tracks, because I know that the music that I create is going to touch people's lives, you know, far beyond what I could even really imagine. So it's kind of like I can't take credit, you know, in and of myself for what I've been able to do, because it's the Lord that has always inspired me and been a part of my creative process. Because when I write music, I wait for the inspiration to come. I don't force it. You know, if I sit at the keyboard and I just try to create something, a lot of times I don't feel it. I'm not inspired. It's like I write when I'm inspired. So when I hear something, when it's something that's like a melody that I can't get out of my head, that's when I'll sit down or go to my like here my workstation, and I'll just create it, you know, and I can usually hear every part. Um, but I know that these songs that I'm inspired to create, it encourages people. I mean, I get testimonies all the time from different people talking about these different songs and how this has really encouraged them and helped them through tough times that they were going through. One song that I wrote, His Grace, another guy, Eddie Backus, a tenor player who actually, you know, we've been hooking up. We've been going doing some lessons, and so he was just telling me how encouraging it was for him when I released His Grace, because he could just feel the love and the spirit of God in that song, and he needed it when he was going through that time when his mother had passed away. So you know, I don't take what I do lightly. I'm not. I'm very mindful of how God can use the works, you know, that we create as musicians. It can operate under that area or spiritual gift of helps, and so it does help people. And so I think, you know, more cats need to be mindful of that and not cocky and not arrogant and not have the wrong spirit, because even if you have the wrong spirit and the wrong intentions when you create the stuff you create, that goes out into the hearts and the minds of those people who receive it. It changes or shapes the atmosphere of people's homes, people's lives. You know, people travel different places, listen to music, they work out to it, they wake up to it, they go to sleep to it. One lady told me, you know, she was tormented, and so she put on my music, and just from playing my music, she felt peace. She didn't feel those bad spirits, you know, messing with her anymore. And so I understand there's a spiritual element, there's spiritual warfare that goes on within this music. Y'all know how it is in the music business. You know, it's horrible out there. You can't trust a lot of sources, you know, but it's music is one of those things. It's universal language. Everybody uses it. You know, everybody needs it. We use it at church. You know, we people use it in the club. People use it in the grocery store. It's always used. And what better way for the devil to access people's lives or influence people's lives but through the music? But my thing is, you have to be a total and complete person away from the music so that you don't have to use the music as an escape, from reality. Of course, we go places, we allow people to go on vacation for a moment, from the real world and get back to it encourages them to continue to do the jobs that they have to do or to overcome the things that they are going through. But at the same time, as a musician, I understand that my priority, and I always like to give the plug for my book. My priority as a Christian musician, I know what my real gift is, and I know how to be successful with and beyond my music. First of all, I call uh, for men and women what God created in the beginning, man and woman. He put them together. They got married and then they had kids. He said, "Be fruitful and multiply." He gave man dominion over the earth. So we have dominion over all of the earth, and everything that we see, we use the internet, the phone, whatever you use, social media, all this stuff was created by men. This is great stuff. We're creative because we're created by our Heavenly Father who created everything. And so it's just amazing how people can just forget or not or lose sight of what their purpose is, or not even know what their purpose is because they're so wrapped up in the creation and they're not looking at the source, which is the creator. So first and foremost, my call is to be a leader in my home, a good leader in my home, a good example for my son, a good faithful husband, and to take care of my children, you know. And so I understand where my priorities are because a lot of musicians, when they get out there, they get so wrapped up in the music and they feel that they have to prove themselves or validate themselves through their musical ability and fit into these cliques. But I don't care about the cliques. I do music, but I could care less about the clicks, and all of the social ills and the vibes that cats be trying to put on you just because you're not in these circles, or you don't have this type of gig, or the competitive things like you ain't doing what I'm doing. I don't care about none of that. I'm motivated by uh, you know putting out stuff that's going to connect with people, be a blessing to people. So if I get to rub shoulders with other cats who have all this notoriety and all of that, they just the men or women. I don't really care about all of that. I'm not in it for that. I got into doing music because it was something that was a challenge. It was something that was fun. It was something, a way that I was able to, express my gift and my talents through, and I appreciate it. And I like the interaction and just hearing your feedback and people who encourage me to keep doing what I'm doing because the music has been a blessing to them. But that's what it is. I'm very practical, I guess, about this whole music thing. And you learn this stuff over time. Of course, when I was younger, I was very competitive and prideful and wanted to challenge folk, and I did competitions and stuff like that, and wanted to be the best. But now, of course, the older you get, the more wisdom you get and the more humility you get, and you start realizing that it's not about all of that stuff. I don't have anything to prove to anybody. I'm motivated to create projects because I want to create projects. I want to be put out something better. I want to put out something that and you're inspired from the different musicians, and for instance, what I did with this track, "The Time Is Now." Um, Derek was inspiring, and so I wanted to collab with him and do something like this. And my guy Alan on keys and Shalia, I pull in the people who I like, and I was able to create a work, that is a good representation. Of course, it'll always get better and better, and so that inspires me. Now, do I make a lot of money off of it? I mean, no, because nowadays the way the streaming works, you make a fraction of the penny, But I'm not doing it for that. I'll get gigs indirectly from it, or I'll get a lesson from it because cats hear um, the the work that was done through the track. Then that inspires them to want to study with me or hire me to come and talk about production or be able to teach a class on music production and recording and stuff like that. So I get paid indirectly, you know. But if you want to support though, I have a Patreon page, patreon.com. That's patreon.com /Texas Tenor, TEXAS. And you can go there and join as a patron, and you can pay monthly to support what I'm doing, whatever amount you want, and I'll give you some special perks just for being a patron. If you wanna do that, that's just a way to show your appreciation. Of course, all this stuff costs money to do. It costs money to get cats to play on your stuff, on your track. It costs money to pay somebody to mix it, and it costs money to pay for the graphic design to be done. It costs money to enter it. It costs money to put it into CD Baby, so it'll go out to all of the different platforms, only for you to make a fraction of the penny. It costs money for you to see it in your favorite streaming service. You know what I'm saying? But it's not about that. If I can connect with you and you like the music, you like what I'm doing, you can show your support by going to patreon.com /Texas Tenor, and you can contribute and be a part of the team, because that's what it is. I feed off of you. You inspire me to continue to do what I do. So I thank y'all for listening. I'm kind of seeing some of the people who are coming in here. You can definitely give me a shout here on Facebook, and we got YouTube going. We got the Texas Tenor Music Academy channel going. And so once again, thanks to all of the supporters out there. And I hope once again that y'all have a great new year. And I'm going to be at the NAMM show. I'll be out there hanging out. So hit me up. We can rap. I'm going to be checking out some new stuff, seeing what I can get, new toys and stuff that I can do to implement, see what I can use to implement into my productions. I know some software I want to get to control, to use the EWI with. Okay, so that's all for now, and we will see you on another episode. Okay, I'm stopping my recording, my audio recording, because I'm recording in Logic, the audio portion. And okay, good. Cool, so I got that recorded. And I'm still live, so I can still see you all if y'all want to chat some. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I know some people are in and out. All right. So that's it. So thank y'all so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time. I'm ending Facebook. Okay. So Facebook is done, and I'm going over here to the YouTube, my restream, if I can find it. Okay. Going back over here to, I got to do my software here. I got to end it from here. Okay, y'all. We for now, and we will see you again on the next one. God bless.